Hello, so for this video we are going to authenticate to the sample application that I have developed. So the assumption is that we've signed up for the community, the administrators have received our sign up request, and we have our login credentials ready. So we have all that, so let's authenticate. If you forget your login credentials, you can recover them using the forgot login method. So let's log in here. Whoops, got that wrong. There we go. So as you can see, the website on the inside has a little bit more on this, what I call the quick menu. So for this tutorial we're just going to go through all the different functions that this menu enables. In later tutorials we will cover this menu, which has a whole bunch of extra stuff. So this first page then that we're presented with is a normal kind of social networky status feed. So you can see I've been doing some testing on there, so you can have videos in your stream, and it shows you when new groups are created within the community and so on. So some clever people have put together the software behind this, and I integrate it into this community as many others do also. So if I want to update my status feed, I can just put what's on my mind. I don't know really, what is just thinking about things, and you can put your feeling, how you feeling, okay, and so on. Then that puts your status on, that puts that status on your status feed basically, and then all your friends that you're connected with on the community can see your status update. So that's that one. The next thing then is let's go through these menus. So the status page here we've kind of covered. I think it's fairly straightforward. If you're used to any kind of social networking, you'll be used to that. The other cornerstone of most social networks then is a kind of profile. So we click on the profile link, it takes us to our own personal profile. So we have full control as a site member over what is on our profile. You don't have to put anything on there that you don't want to. So we want to edit our profile, in other words change the content that is on here. We click here and update your profile, and then basically it's form filling exercises to modify the content that appears on your profile. So you know, if you've moved or something, you change your city, and so on. So you have a banner here which is also configurable through the profile menu here, update your profile, and also your profile image. So these can be both be configured and changed. You know, you can have your own photo on there and stuff like that. This shows how many connections or friends I have connected with on here, and how many views this profile has had. So I think this connection is just to default member 2. Obviously these are just sample profiles that I've created for demonstration purposes. So the first tab here then is your contact info. So it basically has a whole bunch of contact info about you, Again, fill in as much or as little as you feel comfortable to. The About Me tab. So this has some stuff which is about you. You can have various kind of social flags, if you like. So anyone that gets into a you can add more of these, so people can flag up when they're in difficulties, basically. So if they've run out of money and are in a dangerous situation because of that, then they can flag up financially critical. If they're mentally distressed, they can flag that up, and so on. And then that's just another channel in the social armory of getting support to people, basically. So age, obviously this is not me, I'm older than that, but in this sample profile the age is set. Gender, donate to me, so people can set up donation mechanisms and so on. And so the idea then is that in this lower part here you can fill in some stuff about what you're doing in the community, and then so maybe, you never know, somebody might see this and think, wow, that's a worthwhile thing, you know, how he helps or she helps the community, and they decide to donate some money. So that's the idea of having that there, to get a bit of financial support to people who are in need of it, to keep on their community activities. Interests, so these are various interests that the person might have. Again, the options here can be expanded at the behest of the community administrators. Articles, so there's an area on the site where you can write reviews of objects or places or people even, or bands or whatever, and if you write any articles they will appear here to be linked to, so it recognizes who's written the article and puts a link here to it. Blogs, so you can see I've put a little test blog here. So on the status feed, for example, back up here, this one, the idea is to have basically not more than a few lines, maybe 1 or 2 lines of text. In these mini blogs, these are mini blogs really, they're not intended to be pages and pages long, but you can have, because there's another area of the site which is for the main blogging area, but on your profile you could have a little blog about, I don't know, what you've done this weekend or something like that. So if you want to write a blog, you just, or add a blog to your profile like this one is here, you just click new blog, set to category for it. Again, there can be more or less categories depending upon what the administrators decide. So this is a blog about what I did this weekend. Full blog. This weekend I did this, that and the other. So that's then the blog, and then we just click create blog, and it appears there, my weekend, and so anyone that comes to your profile can view that blog. Forum posts, I'm going to be taking that off there, so that's not relevant now. Inbox, this is for your private messages basically. The idea of the private messages is that you can send messages between different site members basically. Adverts, so if you want to have an advert, like, I don't know, I've bought a new kettle, does anyone want my old one? You can put an advert on there and then people can see that. Groups, these are the groups that you're a member of. So if you want to create a group, you just click there. So I don't know, if you've got a bowling group or a chess group or something, you can add the group through there. Invites, so you can invite people that you know that are not on the community to join. So that's that set of tabs there. You can see your connections, your activities, and this one's quite important. This is your media gallery. So you can have your images, your music, your files, and your videos. So the basic idea is to have videos on YouTube or some other third-party site and link to from here. Otherwise we'd be racking up huge bills on a disk space and stuff. So I think that's fairly self-explanatory. You can create an album and you can upload or link to those albums. So there's another place, on the quick menu you can add your personal media from here, and that basically will display this same thing here but on its own page. So you don't have to go to your profile, click through these tabs, blah 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 to find your media. You can just click it here. So down the bottom then is the number of visits that the profile has had, and I think it sometimes says from who, although it isn't this time, I'm not sure why. And then right down the bottom is this geoimmunity concept. So the idea is that as long as you've said that this website can track your location will be updated every time you log in, which is particularly useful if you got a mobile phone and stuff. And that means then that people that are geographically close at the same time can meet up in a kind of geoimmunity. You understand what I mean? So if some guy is visiting South Wales and somebody else from the community is also visiting South Wales, they might see on here, oh look, so and so's here at the same time, do you want to, I know you from this community, do you want to meet up and have a chat or whatever? So that's that. So we've done the status one. The groups one then, so this is community groups, so we've got various categories for different groups within the community. So I created an example one here. This is just a default group, so you can see the kind of things that you can add to a group. So basically there's files, photos, videos, there's a wall, so you can have similar, you can have stuff which is group relevant on the wall there, who's the members of the group, and invite people to the group. Okay, so one of the things is that you have, this is made from a hodgepodge of software independently developed around the planet. So one part can have been developed in Europe, another part might be Australia, another part could be Greenland, you know, or wherever. And so the main challenge of integrating a website like this is to get the components to play well together, or form a fairly cohesive kind of community, because they've been developed individually. But so that's the group thing, but why I'm saying that is that the events system is entirely different. Normally groups and events are kind of coupled together, but in this case the event system is quite different. So there's not a lot to see because there's no events. I haven't created any events, but basically when you create events they'll be listed here, and you can see what events are on, basically birthdays or whatever. This one then is a shortcut to profile editing, which I haven't shown you yet. So you can get to this through your profile, or you can get to it through this quick menu here. So we talked about editing the profile, if you remember. So any fields that you want to change within your profile, you can do through this profile edit mechanism. Let's say we want to change, let's try and find something to update. We could perhaps change I think I stopped the script. Hang on, let's reload the page, sorry. Yeah, I had a bit of a hiccup there. Oh, it's waiting for a Google site for some reason. Is it ready? I think it's frozen. What did I do? Continue. It doesn't usually happen. It's typical when I'm recording a video, isn't it? Okay, so there's our portrait image. So if we want to change the image that we have, we can select one from our gallery. So let's change ourselves to be, I don't know which one looks cool. That's the one we are at the moment. Let's change ourselves to this guy, put on a bit of weight, and we do update. And we should then see we have a different profile image. Okay, so if you want to make any updates to your profile, you can do it from here, or you can do it from here, basically from the quick menu. So that's what I wanted to show there. And if you remember our personal media, that's our own personally relevant rather than community relevant media. So my birthday pictures, my trip to wherever, my blah blah blah. So our personal media goes here, and we can upload. I won't actually do that here, but it's just a form filling exercise to upload or create a new album. The next one then is the members list. So that gives us a list of all the people who are on the community. So this is all the current members. That basically most of them are the admin roles and a couple of normal user roles. So these are the two normal user roles that I set up as examples. So we have a couple of views. There's the member table list, which is that one, and then there's a grid list, which is this one. So it's the same thing but in a different format. I think I prefer that one. So then you can search users, for example. So if you just click search users, it gives you some search criteria to look for. So I'm not sure what we could search on here, for example. Try and see something. So this guy is marked as single. I haven't actually set up many of the fields to actually search on. But you can imagine when these fields are populated, then there's a lot more stuff that you can do. Don't know if anyone's marked as a volunteer. I think this returns your own self as well. So if you've marked yourself as a volunteer, I think it will. No, So I haven't set up any fields, but and I think I think everyone is a male on here at the moment. They're all marked as male. So that should return all of them. No. What have I done? Well, anyway, it works. Let's search by name then. Default. So that should return 2 guys, 2 members, or 3. There's 3. I created 3 of them. So that makes sense. So basically, by filling in the search criteria there, you can filter the members list to get the particular people that you want. So if you want to list all volunteers or all males or all females or all whatever, then you can do that through that search mechanism basically. Friends lists then, so these are the guys that you've actually connected with through your profile. So I'm only connected, default member is connected to default member 2. So if we just click on this guy, that actually takes us to his profile, and it tells us at the top we're connected with him. So that's that's what another person's profile looks like to you basically. So you can see there's no blogs because this guy hasn't written any blogs yet, whereas on my one it would have had a blog there and so on. So that would be what it's like to look at another person's profile. So that's the friends list, and then the crew we've seen already. That's basically all the administrators. So if you want to contact this guy, you click on him and find a contact form and send him a message with whatever you need from him. Support. So this is a simple support mechanism, not much to it. You just put create ticket and post the issue that you have, and that will be received by whoever's delegated as support person, and it automatically fills in your email address here. So that's it basically. That's how it functions, and that's the quick menu then for you. The next thing will be more about, the next video will be more about this menu here and all the functions of that. Okay, so let's log out then. So we go to Authenticate. It tells us we've got 1 private message, no new connection requests. Log out, and we're back to the main page there then. Okay.